Hello everyone, my name is David Raju. I am a naturalist from Kerala, India. I spent over 14 years working in Central Indian jungle tracking tigers and other animals. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. Traveled across 22 states in India trying to document different animals, and I've written few books on Indian wildlife photography field guide, of wildlife of Central India photographic field guide, wildlife of South India, which I co-authored with my dear friend Surya, and written a book on dragonflies of Kerala, and now we are doing a book on wildlife of Western India. Part of the team discovered quite a few new species to science, and but I never studied science. I am a graduate in English literature, but all this experience I've been going into different jungles and learning all those things. So I'm here to share some of my jungle stories with you all. I thought I'll share the one of the most amazing story which it happened in 2016 in Kanha National Park. I still remember that day. It was November 2016. I was working in Singinava Jungle Lodge. When you work in a jungle lodge with a lot of other friends from nearby lodges, so we have usually internal rivalries, like who entered the park first. The thing is, if you enter the park first, there's no dust, and if an animal sleeping like a tiger or a leopard or another animal there in the middle of the road, you will get to see it first. So that day I was the first vehicle in the national park. So I started driving from Mukki zone to Kanha. So we had allotted Kanha zones, which is almost 1 hour away from Mukki zone. We had to drive from Mukki. We had to pass through a Orai meadow. Then there's a Beshinpura meadow. Meadows are such a beautiful grassland. Then we had to reach to Kanha meadow. Kanha meadow is actually one of the largest meadows in Kanha Tiger Reserve, and they got a lot of streams there. They have beautiful grasslands, some good woodland there. So it's actually teeming with wildlife. A lot of spotted deers, lots of barasingas, the swamp deers are there, lots of gores, and quite a few tigers. I think 3-4 tigers were roaming around that area. And previous night we had information from other zones that they had already sighted 2-3 tigers there. So we approached the Kanha meadow. So the moment we approached, there's a road which goes to the right called Bison Road. Then there's a road called Shalarhide Road. So from Shalarhide Road, we started hearing a lot of alarm calls. So we drove to Shalarhide Road. Then we started hearing a tigress, a beautiful tigress. We used to call her Neelam, T60 I think. She started walking towards the Bison Road. So we reversed our vehicle. We came back to the Bison Road. We stopped our vehicle, and we were waiting for the tiger to come, and she was just slowly walking. She was so used to the vehicle. She just walked across the road right in front of my vehicle. She came and around 30 feet away, she sat down there, and right behind me 3 more vehicles lined up. We could all see it because she was out in the open. She was sitting there. So we all started taking pictures, started looking through the binoculars, started observing this amazing, one of the prettiest tigers in Kanha. We started observing that tiger. And to the right side, we started hearing a lot of babblers. The jungle babblers were giving alarm call to the right, and we were all still looking at it. But from behind our vehicle, one of my friend Narayan, we call him Nara, he shouted from that vehicle, "David, there is a spot-bellied eagle owl. He's sitting on the ground." And I was excited. I looked to the right, looked through my binoculars, and there was a large spot-bellied eagle owl was sitting on the ground. So spot-bellied eagle owl, almost 2 feet, if it's sitting from the ground, almost 2 feet high. It's one of the largest owl in India, and it was sitting on the ground. And we didn't know this. The spot-bellied eagle owl was actually killed a peacock, and it was feeding on there. And I was so excited. I was trying to tell my guests, look at that owl. That's an extremely rare owl to see in India. Once you see 100 times or 200 times a tiger sighting, you will may get to see one owl sighting. Why don't you look at the owl? So the guests looked at me, looked at the owl, looked at me again. Then again went back to the tiger. So everyone was looking at the tiger. They were taking pictures. Me and my friend Nara, both of us were looking at the owl. We started taking pictures. We started observing the owl and all. And suddenly the tiger got irritated because the owl was there and the babblers were making a lot of noise. Tiger got up from there, walked across the road, and started approaching towards the owl. Slowly walking up to 10 meters, 5 meters, 2 meters. The moment tiger approached the owl, owl saw that there's a tiger actually walking to the owl. Owl took off from the ground, the peacock in its talons, and that's the time we realized actually this owl was feeding on a peacock. So the tiger jumped from the ground, leapt from the ground. In the midair, tiger slapped the owl and caught the owl, and and the tiger landed on the ground. It all happened in 1 or 2 seconds. And next thing what we see, the tiger went and picked up the peacock and walking into the jungle. So through the leaves, I managed to get some pictures of the tiger was carrying the owl, the peacock in its mouth, and started walking away. And owl was still sitting there with the broken wings. So we stood there almost 15-20 minutes. We are hoping the tiger might come back and kill the owl also, but it didn't happen. While we are driving back, the owl was still sitting there. I often tell this story to my little daughter. I have a 3-year-old daughter, Tumbi. So whenever I tell this story, the owl and the tiger story, she tell, Daddy, the tiger actually came back and fixed the owl's wings, and owl actually flew away. I also tried to believe in that story. The tiger must have came back and fixed the owl must have flew away. But the actual thing must have happened. Tiger must have came back, killed the owl also, and ate the owl. So that is one of my amazing story which happened in Kanha National Park. I'll be coming with more stories like this, and keep watching. Thank you so much.